no clue. No clue. It's just a bit dumb. So let's have a look at, yeah, duplicate. Yeah, look. I don't know. I don't know. Chief. Entertainment? Nah, this is not entertaining. Unless you consider my suffering entertaining. Fuck it, I'm keeping it in entertainment. I don't care. Okay, so I've got I need to see. Oh, share. There we go. Okay. Copy video link, and then I go to here and I paste it there. I can get rid of these ones, I think. Live in 2 places. Okay. Gee, I don't know how this is gonna work. Let's. Yeah, that should be fine. I've got this chat here, and then I will have this chat here. This is, I've got Twitch and I've got YouTube all set up, and I can monitor both sides of the screen. And if I do something like this, and we'll see what it is. I need to pee instantly. Why do I need to pee instantly? Like, as soon as I start, I'm like, yep, gotta go to the bathroom. BRB, guys. How delayed is YouTube? What the hell? So hang on, let me cover the thing again, and let me just start counting until I cover the screen on YouTube's. I on the switch to live. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. So 7 seconds on Twitch, 22 seconds on YouTube. Amazing. All right, give me 2 seconds. Or in YouTube's case, 22 seconds. Legs are fucking killing me. My legs are killing me. I am trying dual streaming. I'm trying multi-streaming. So I'm streaming to both YouTube and Twitch, and we're seeing how that happens. I can see that, yeah, on YouTube side the Twitch chat is up, but I don't know what's happening on the YouTube side. Sorry, the Twitch chat is in the actual stream. Let me just testing. So yeah. So the testing link only the YouTube chat only works on YouTube. I don't know if there's a way that I can have both chats monitorable and receivable on the one side. Set transform. Okay, now it's going to be doing silly things. Because it said I was live before, and now it's saying I'm live again. Silliness. Very silliness. But I can have both Twitch and YouTube up here, and that works for me. I'm okay with that. Yeah. Cool. Right on. So let's see what I have. I was just previously editing the sound for the bit file to make it not super fucking huge, super fucking loud. So you can see I've just managed to finish the title screen. I just made it a little thing. This is what it would look like. But obviously I'm going to be changing it to make it slightly different, to make it look more appealing. But this is, I do like the background. I do like the fact that it zooms out to see it. You can see it's a little bit stuttery as it comes out. Don't know how to fix that at this stage. For the first game, that's not a problem. First game is not a problem, because it's going to be shit. Your first game's going to be shit. You just have to deal with that. It's going to be shit the first game. But yeah, so at the moment, TDS appears, excellent, and game starts normally. This guy isn't going to be here, but don't worry about that. Yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, thank you, Joe. Joe Sautome. Joe Sautome. Joe Sautome. I'm going to say Joe Sautome. Yeah, so he's just made a chat on YouTube, and I can see it a pop up there, but I don't know if there's a way I can combine both chats into the one thing so both of them can pop up. Both of them can pop up above me, up here. I'm fairly certain there'd be a plugin or something like that that would allow that sort of thing to happen. Maybe there's even a scene in here. Otherwise, I can... what I might be able to do... Interact. Oh, this is Twitch chat, sorry. I meant this one. So, if I... Oh, that's you. Sotomi. Joe Sotomi. So that's used there as well. Okay, Sotomi. Yeah, I don't know. That's you there as well. That's good. But yeah, so I don't know if there's any way I can have both things appear on. Yeah, I don't know if there's a way I can put both chats on. So for now, I'm just gonna have both of them up on my second screen and continue with what I'm doing here. So yeah. But thank you for testing that thing for me. I really appreciate that. So that stuttering that appears is completely my fault, but I don't know how to solve it. But you can see the kill... What? What? Delete delay... This is delete after complete. So ready doesn't get called. Oh, I think ready does get called, but process happens before that. So I might just pass this. This is an old thing. Let me just double check this one. So that stuttering, I believe, is just due to the fact of the particle system spawning in. I believe what I should do is change it from because those particles that appear, these level change particles, are individual elements, and I think the problem is that I'm instantiating them and deleting them all very very commonly. But I can see that it's not stuttering after the game has been initialized. So it's only at the beginning where it's stuttering. So I can see that the stuttering only happens at the beginning of the game, which makes sense because it's trying to initialize everything. But even if I have this go, because what I could do is I can instantiate a whole bunch. I'm just having a think. I'm having a big think. Big think. And my big think... killable triggers, by the way, I did off stream. I did that. And it was really easy to implement. So the big think that I'm having is in regards to the sprite manager. So it's a little thing called sprite, and that's what these are. These are all sprites. Those little rectangles. I'm going to be turning these things in the background also to sprites. And what a sprite is just a little object that it appears, it lives for a little bit, and then it disappears. That's all it does. It appears, lives for a little bit, disappears. But I can initialize them wherever I want. I can initialize them wherever I want at the start, and then it does a little motion into something, and then it'll disappear. It's exactly the same as particles. In reality, they're exactly the same as particles, but the problem that I have with the way Godot makes particles is that it doesn't allow you to realistically easily spawn particles where you want them. It doesn't allow for this sort of functionality. It only allows you to spawn particles within an environment, and you have to put enough in a. It's a bit weird. Look, it's a bit weird. I don't exactly know what's going on. But the particle system isn't exactly attuned to what I want to do, and that's why this death animation here. These are also sprites. So these are also sprites here, as you can see. These aren't actually particles. Well, they might be particles, but they're a little bit different. I can't remember how I programmed these. I'm pretty sure they actually are particles. So I might actually change these things to be particles as well. What's in the background here? These are definitely particles. But yeah, it's just a matter of what I end up doing. I do read chat. Hello, Nero. Welcome to the YouTube side of chat. Unfortunately, I don't know how to put YouTube up here, but I do read it, and I do see it. Why is it number 2? Like you're the second... Oh, you're the second... Fans? What the hell? Why are you an oscillating device? Oscillating fan. Are you made of plastic or metal? I don't know. But again, all of what I'm doing in this game is very throw shit at the wall and see if it works. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm learning. So, it is going well. It's going well, my dude. And yes, YouTube as well has a 22-second delay. So Twitch, I am on Twitch as well. Twitch.tv/QuillerManel. I'm also on YouTube, as you can see, because I'm here. Hello. Twitch has a 7-second delay, and YouTube has a 22-second delay. So my interactions with people on YouTube is going to be a lot worse. But I do intend of attempting to balance the two and see how it goes. And of course, if this becomes something I can do more frequently, then I'm going to end up figuring it out more. But at the moment, it's just like, hey, I can put shit on YouTube as well, so I may as well. And the other thing I would like to do as well is also integrate Discord in it as well. And so that there can be 3 different interactable environments YouTube, Discord, and Twitch all at once, and all of them will appear up here. And then if I manage to, is it? Did you come from the Discord server? Because it should be above the YouTube link. Otherwise, I don't have the Twitch. If you come from YouTube itself, then I don't have the. You're right. I don't have the link on Twitch for on the YouTube side of things. It's weird. Look, I'm floundering, mate. Consider me a fish. I'm just. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me put it in the description. You know what? Let me put it in the description on YouTube. Let me set this one up. Let me move this to edit. Description. Here we go. Also live on Twitch. There we go. So, most of my experience has been with Unity. That's what I had started learning in. Most of my experiences with Unity. Most of my programming experiences with Python. If I decide to try and make something quickly, I do it in Python. And then with Godot, this is the first project. I've got a couple prototypes that I've scrapped. Prototypes, like figuring out sort of things that I've scrapped prior to this. But this is my first project in Godot, trying to figure out what Godot does. And in terms of the experience I have with Godot itself, I would only probably say I've had about, I probably started this maybe a year ago. Total, I first opened Godot maybe a year ago, but in terms of genuine experience, I probably would only have it 6 months or 4 or 5 months worth of actual genuine experience. So I'm still quite new to Godot, but I do like the fact that it's a completely open source software that's not Unity. Or a completely open source software and also a free one that's not Unity. Because from all of the shit that the reason why I'm learned about Godot was because Unity dropped the ball in the whole monetization bullshit, and so now I'm here. Hello, Cognell. Are you Nero on YouTube, or are you different? Are you also a new one? Because now... or are you someone new? Oh, that's the other problem I'm going to run into. People having different screen names on YouTube and Twitch. I'm dual streaming in case you're not the person on YouTube and coming over to Twitch. Man, I don't know what I'm doing, man. But it's slightly more live. It's slightly more live on Twitch than it is on YouTube. And I believe that's my fault entirely. Stream Elements is trying to do 2 streams to YouTube. I don't know what's up with that. There's probably a couple of things going on, but look, I don't know. YouTube appears to have a lot of fun things associated with it, but okay, cool. Hello. Now you're a little bit more live. But that's all good. Hello again. Things are continuing. Anyway, so G Delta, I believe. Oh, I'm very smart. Hang on. Oh, because I believe this is adding functionality for if I want to slow down the game for whatever reason, then things that are moving can use G Delta instead of Delta, and G Delta just gets updated every frame, unless slowing down the game is an interesting. There's a couple of different interesting interpretations you could do of it, but at the moment I'm not thinking about that. I'm just trying to make the game playable, and at the moment it is kind of playable. You can log into it, you can start it, you can move around, you can shoot. There are enemies that appear that can die, and you can collect coins. Can't do anything with them at the moment. And at the moment, I've got the functionality for actually spawning in the game as well. and you can see that there's a bit of lag that is associated with all that sort of stuff. Enemies do appear. Ooh. Now, why is that doing that? Why is that doing that? That's interesting. I don't know why the camera's shaking. It seems to only do that when the camera is moving and I attack something. I believe it is because... Oh, now it's not doing it. So very strange. Oh, oh. There you go. So yeah, this is what the game is currently. There are no spawning effects, which I will have to do. Hello. Hello. Alright, hang on. Yes, yeah. Oh dear. The YouTube, hello Dark K on YouTube. The YouTube live stream will be archived, but the Twitch one won't be. Yeah, the game currently is in a state that can be played, which is good. That's kind of the minimum requirement I had for this project, to put it in a state that it can be played. Which, yes, someone theoretically could download, launch it, and play it. But, so I've got that functionality done, and now what I want to do is make it fun, or more fun. I do remember you, Dark K. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten anyone from my past life, that is. My past animation life, which hasn't expired. I just haven't been able to spend as much time on it as well. I do remember you. Don't worry. But yeah, you are right, Cognell and Nero. Cognell / Nero. It is in a state that someone can play. And even, as you say, what do you say? Diabloid inventory. Oh, like a Diablo. Okay, a Diablo inventory. Yeah, that is. Its inventory systems are bloody complicated, and even just figuring out how to implement those sorts of things is also very difficult. Yeah, no, you're right. It's not past life, but it's certainly a life that has happened and can't not have it happen. And the funny thing that I find with the way that I sort of internalize what my past experiences in animation side of things on YouTube is that I don't shy away from it. Like if someone were to ask me, "Hey, you used to animate My Little Pony," and I'm like, "Yeah, I do. I used to." The animations are still up there if you want to watch them. But yeah, that's what I used to do, and that sort of intrigue, that interest hasn't stopped. But it's just I can't spend as much time on it. I'd once done a panel in Los Angeles during the LA PonyCon, and I said on that panel that you will find that there's a lot of time in the day to dedicate to your projects, but you may see that you have to give up some things. Like, for example, you may have to give up, say, playing video games or watching movies or even going to the gym or maybe eating food and breathing air. Like, there are a lot of things in the day that take up a lot of time. But that's all that it is. And the more time you can dedicate to something, eventually the better you'll get at it, full stop. You will discover what it is about that thing that you like, and then if you can, spend more time doing that thing. But my current problem is that there's a lot of other stuff in my life that's outside of this internet side of my life, which unfortunately I have to dedicate more time to. And so finding the moments to sit down and properly do things like this is very rare and very far in between. Like, for instance, tonight I have a shift. Tonight. As in, it starts in 5 hours. I have to go and do an overnight shift because it starts in 5 hours. And then Yeah, pesky bills refuse to pay themselves. Exactly right. They refuse to pay themselves. And my relationship with my job currently is not the absolute best. But yeah, uh, uh, it's something that I'm planning on trying to see if I can not get out of necessarily, but to buffet it with an alternate source of income so I don't have to spend all my time at work, you know? I would like to be doing this more often because this actually is fulfilling to me. Whereas the work, sure, the money is there, but the amount of time I have to dedicate to it is just too much. Uh, so you say, why is my comment now showed? How do you mean? Like, because the I don't know how to put YouTube comments above my head. This is just Twitch at this moment, and I'm just figuring out dual streaming just right now, just getting the stream going. I didn't realize how easy it was to just set it up and go. But yeah, I know that Hasbro and Amazon are doing a live action movie. I don't know anything about it, and personally I prefer not to know about it. I just want to experience it through the zeitgeist of the internet and see what people think of it. I don't know. It's just a very strange turn of events. Am I yelling too much? No, that's fine. Okay. All right. Only Feet fans slash Quilla Manar. Right. Alternate source of income, mate. Ooh, that's still working. Yay. Thanks for the follow. Do you like that? Do you like it? I animated it myself. I know people can make like legit things, but I prefer shit like that, you know? Anyway. um it's beautiful, isn't it? Absolute cinema. Oh, thank you. Chris Pratt is he's got an interesting Chris Pratt has an interesting sort of form to him. He can be cute and chubby one moment, and then he can be drop dead gorgeous in the next moment. Like, so I appreciate the comparison. Yeah, I know the follower animation. Uh, uh, I wanted to think, okay, I want to make my own thing for it. I don't just want it to be the default thing, but it does. It very specifically does because that's actually the one that is used in. Not only is it used on the SFM logo, but it's also used in TF2. Um, I can't remember where in TF2. I think it's one of the contract systems because it's just one of the sound effects that is in TF2 sort of thing. Anyway, I want to get back to programming. So I need to figure out how to do. I need to figure out how to do abilities. I want to make abilities something that the player can have. And one of the I could have an ability. So let me just bring this over. So abilities. So, there's a couple ways that you can implement abilities. All right, you go to bed. You have a good one. Thanks for dropping in for that little bit, Dark K. Have a good one. Oh yeah, very much time to sleep, man. You should have been asleep 5 hours ago. That's a reference. Now that's a reference I'm not ashamed of admitting where it's from. I should have been asleep 5 hours ago. I'm not good at Granny Smith. Anyway, so the abilities can be done in a couple ways. Which way am I facing here? So when it comes to how I want my face to be in this stream, if I have, if the my manager is over here, my stream manager is over here, but if I'm specifically referencing my documentation or my paint.net thingy, I want to be able to be looking at it as I'm drawing it. So that means I need to flip this horizontally. So I don't know. I'll try that. Hang on. Where's my beautiful face? All right. Transform. Flip horizontal. Hello. Hello. So now I am flipped. And now when I'm here and focusing, this is what I am drawing. So you can see that. Now I'm looking at what I am drawing, which I actually like that a lot, actually. I'll go ahead and keep doing that. Just making sure that this is correct. Oh, no! Oh, it's just a soft screen. Okay. All right. Okay. So, abilities. I could put abilities as a... You've got the... In the hierarchy, you have the player. What I can do is in player.gd, I could have a variable which would be an export, which will hold a node or packed scene or I switched away from my good side. Oh dear. Oh, hang on. My YouTube chat is also offline now. Okay, cool. That's all right. Blah, blah, blah. I switched away from my good side, and now my good side is off. I don't know. Is this actually my good side, or is this my good side? What's my good side? Is this my good side, or is this my good side? I've always been more partial to my left side of my face, to be honest, because I don't know. Yeah, the left side. Look, when you think about it realistically, my left side has my hair part. This is where the hair is supposed to be parted, and so in terms of having the dynamic. Yes, I did hear the news. I was talking about it earlier. Oh wait, hang on. This is different. My bad. Face the wall behind. That's a good point. Hang on, let me. Is that my good side? Should I present like this? I mean, to be fair, this is a good side. It's a side that is good because it's got a whole bunch of props and things in the background, which is nice. But in terms of presenting to a camera, the camera is no longer, and I can't see you guys now. Well, I can sort of see you guys because I can see the mirror, but. In any case. So, I can have the abilities be a packed scene which gets instantiated every time I press the shift button. Or I could have I might actually make the player hand do that sort of stuff. I might have the player hand do this because this is what actually controls everything. And this one will do movement and input handling. Yeah. So movement and input handling is being done by this character body, and the player hand does everything in regards to abilities and things. So that's what I'll do. Instead of having the ability object as a variable stored in the player side of things, I'm going to nix that, and instead I will have player, and then under player there'll be the hand, and inside the hand there will be the weapon and also the ability. Unless the hand that holds the weapon should be distinct from the controller that does the abilities. Well, no, because hand has a whole bunch of things that determine, like, for example, where the mouse is positioned, where interacting with the player object as well. So what I'll do is I'll have a separate script called ability, whoopsie daisies, ability.gd, which will be applied to a node 2D, which will be packed to a scene, which will then be referenced by the hand. So I think that's probably the best way I should do it. So I will create so here we go. You've got the player, which is a character body 2D, which movement and control is handled there. So here's the character. There it is. That's the player symbol. So you got the player. You have the hand, which is a node 2D, right? And then in hand, you have the weapon. And also, yeah, you have the weapon, but inside hand, there will be the variable, a packed scene variable called ability. Right. Which, when the player, which is doing input, recognizes that the ability command has been given, will tell the hand to launch the ability. So that should be what it would be done. So player hand, come up here. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say var equipped ability, and it's going to be a packed scene. Cool. And I'm just going to export that for now, which I will be controlling it using other sort of things, but yeah. And here I'm going to put in func activate ability. And I need to pee again. What the hell? Drinking too much water. To be fair, when I started, this was full, and now it's almost empty. So that's how much I need to pee, guys. It's not prostate cancer. And my legs are killing me. My legs are killing me. Because I was doing gym yesterday. Leg day. Empty. That's almost a liter of water. So, what activate ability will do is it will instantiate the ability. It will put it in. So, I'm going to say var air ability equals equipped ability dot instantiate. I don't know. Edit state. Interesting. So it'll instantiate the ability, and then it will run through required ability variables. Because let me just get rid of this, and killable trigger was actually a lot easier than I was expecting. Oh. Call this killable trigger. Very good. Player I will keep because player hand has this. Oh, and player in handle inputs input. Is action pressed. P dot. I'm gonna have to rename it to ability, not dodge. And not dead. Hand dot activate ability. Yes, you take whatever you need. Do whatever you need to do. Take a break. Take a pee break. Go for it. Let me just get rid of that. Let me get rid of this. That's fine. Pause screen is done. Area trigger is done. So now what I need to do is create a new 2D scene which has the script called ability. So this is going to be placed in scripts, weapons. I'm going to call it abilities. So ability will contain certain things. It will contain certain variables. So I'm going to say start location. I'm going to say direction. I'm going to say these are the variables that are instanced by the player hand. I'm going to say maybe even mouse. I'm going to go move direction. Also, I'm going to go look direction. And anything that go weapons. I'm going to go abilities. And I'm going to call this one actually, I don't need to save this. Oh, fucking hell. Alright. So start location is where the ability is created. Move direction is the direction the player is moving. Look direction is the direction that the player is looking. Um, and basically, all abilities will instantiate being able to use these variables. Oh, Control Alt S. That saves the script. That's good. And then I think these variables are the only things that necessarily need to be interacted with when it comes to the interaction between the hand and the ability. So the player and the ability. The ability needs to know where it began, which direction the player is moving, and which direction I'm flipping you off. Which direction the player is looking. So that's basically all these ones need. Welcome back. Okay, so the player hand in activate ability, I'm going to go ability dot start location equals global position. Ability dot move location equals it's going to be, so the player has p dir, which is the input speed. P dir is set upon handle input. So set movement, you can see, is set up there. Which what I might do is I might turn this into a getter. Oh no, because it's moving up that. That's okay. You see this dodge and dodge control? I don't need to do that. This. Oh, and I have to make sure that the ability knows the player as well. The ability needs to know the player. So in the hand, I can, in that case, well, no, because move direction will update based on certain things. Yeah, the move direction will update on the player, but I'm not sure if I want Move direction to update after the ability has spawned in. Yeah, I don't think I want. Yeah, I don't think I want to do that. So I only want move direction and look direction to be saved at that exact point in time. Okay, so but I still want the ability to be able to reference the player if required. So I will have that sorted. And then in hand, again, I'm going to do ability.player. I don't actually need to set it because I can go from ability and I can say get, and then of course the ability needs to know the GM. Let's go over here. Let me just refer back to Game Master. Yeah, Game Master. You'll see that keep popping up because as soon as I finish a line, I hit Control S. As soon as I finish a line, I hit Control S. That's actually I learned that in my SFM days, not my programming lesson days. Although the amount of times I've run a code and had lost like the last few hours of progress because the code hanged on a while loop somewhere. Didn't teach me, but the amount of times SFM randomly crashed, fuck me. So the player, have a look. Player, yeah. So player, GM, these are 8 default variables. That's fine. Start location, move direction, and look direction. In reality, but you can't set the global position before you set the child, add it to the scene. Because as soon as you add it to the scene, if you don't add it to the root, which I know non-essential is already at the root, so in that case it should be fine. Equals player dot p there. Move direction. Yeah, that should be correct. And then ability dot look direction. And now the player, or the player hand, is currently rotated to match where the mouse position is. The player hand knows where the mouse position is, right? So therefore, I can write a variable here called look direction. Called get return minus global position plus get global mouse position. There we go. There we are. See, I don't know why this has to be. It's because it's a fucking rigid body. That's why. It's got physics enabled. Ah. Okay. Ah. Alright. That's the frustrating bit. That's okay. Again, these are mistakes that I'm making that balloon the production of this thing, but teach me very valuable lessons about what Godot does, what different settings and node types mean, all that sort of shit. So it's very valuable for me to be making these mistakes. So GM will have non-essential. Which, when the player hand activates the ability, gm.nonessential.add child ability. So non-essential should have transform 0, game has transform 0, which means that when the ability is spawned on non-essential, it should maintain the global position. Something that I've noticed, if you set the global position and then add it as a child to an object which is not at the default location, global position sets the local position, and then you add it to a object which isn't. So hang on, let me just. So global position. When you set global position, it actually updates the local position. Which, if you then get the object and set it as a child of a different object, which is not at 0, so if you create a node and add it as a child to an object which is not at 0, the local position is used, not the global position. So you have to add it as a child and then set up the, so that's one, and then set up the local position if you want it to be in a specific area. So you set the global position after setting it as a child. Otherwise, if you set the global position, it will set the local position, and then when you add it to a child, it'll use the local position, not the global position. That's what I had learned. And you see, you make these mistakes, and then you learn these things. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Even ChatGPT is a tool that you need to learn how to use, and you will always fall into these pitfalls. And again, the angle that you feel towards tools is misplaced anger, because it's actually anger towards yourself, because the tool itself is not able to know what it's doing wrong. you are the one that knows what's doing wrong, and you actually misplace the anger or redirect the anger towards the tool when it's actually this tool that's causing the issue. And hey, you know, better tool is a sharp tool, and as you make mistakes, you sharpen your own tool. So there you go. Anyway. So yeah. I add it to the scene. And then do I activate the ability from there? Or do I just assume the ability is going to be activated when the ability spawns in? Me smart, put it dumb. That's how it feels. That's how it goes. That's all it is. It's amazing. Right. I think do ability will be done at the time that it activates, and each ability will just do its thing when it activates. So this is the ability script, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this script, right? And it inherits ability. Very good. And I'm going to be doing this as a... What should be my first ability that I create? May as well just create dodge ability. Okay, so dodge ability. And it's going to be as an example of how you instantiate these things. Okay, so is there a way I can, outside of literally just copying and paste these, is there a way I can make this aware of what methods it has? So I want to put the methods that I'm inheriting from different things. I'm just gonna put this here, and I'm just going to comment this out. I'd love to be able to have let me just do this. I'd love to be able to have the methods and variables here and have it in here. Oh, actually, I think it does that already. I think it does that already. If I put, hang on a sec. If I open up, if I go here and go, not materials, not prefabs, but in scripts, not entities, not audio, not triggers, and weapons ability. If I put a testing function here, right? It pops up here, and then here it doesn't pop up. Okay, so that's what I would like to see. I'd like to see functions and variables that are referenced in an inherited function, an inherited script, appear with the methods on this side. I'd also like that for variables. And you know what? Because this is an open source project, because Godot is an open source engine, I can literally just request that or even program it myself if that's possible. So, yeah. Let me just close these ones. So, here we go. So this is the dodge ability. I'm going to call it... Ooh. Inherited ability variables. So I've got move and I've got look. So this is the dodge ability. So in my player script, the way I had done dodging before, I'm going to open up my project settings. I'm going to go to my input map, and my dodge, I'm actually going to rename this to P ability. Right, so P ability. And this, I do actually really like how this works, because joypad axes, there we go. Look at that. Fucking excellent. So move right can be left stick right. There we are. Move up axes can be left stick up. Move down can be left stick down. Move left can be left stick left. Left stick left. Yeah, all devices is fine. There we go. And so now actually I've got my controller here. I should just literally if what I think is correct, I should literally just be able to... Oh, it doesn't work. Sad face. Okay. Oh. Oh, wait. Hey. Yeah, no, it doesn't work. Okay, I'll need to figure that out. So, don't worry. Okay, cool. Excellent. So, let's just do this. I'm also going to say if ability... Oh, hang on. If ability equals null, return. Just do nothing. Sorry, equipped ability. So, now, how did I handle dodge? I'm going to call this ability now. And then here, all of this, yeah, this isn't even set anymore. Ugh, need to pee again. Man. I'll be right back. God damn. I haven't forgotten about you. Okay. All right. So, so you see all this? This was my previous implementation of the dodge mechanic. But what I will do. Oh, I just had a brilliant idea. Make that 2 right? So, I've just had a brilliant idea. With weapon template, the weapon knows how long it takes for the weapon to cool down in order to shoot again. But if I'm going to be having an ability which spawns in on the player and does a thing, I need to know how long that ability is going to take to cool down. I can handle that either on the player's side, which tries to get a variable that does it, or I can handle it by saying as soon as the ability spawns in, the ability references back to the hand to set the cooldown variable. So if I go to here, I can say var ability cooldown, which is a float, sets at 0.0. Let me just make sure it is a float at 0.0, right? Okay, so when the ability spawns in, I can only access variables inside the ability by as soon as I instantiate it. So what I can do is I can say ability cooldown equals ability dot ability cooldown, right? And so here dodge should have this export variable which is called ability cooldown. But is not actually referenced inside the actual ability itself. It's only used by the hand to determine how frequently it should do it. And then I can have a upgradable skill set for the player to have a cooldown modifier, which means it'll lower the value of the cooldown. So here I've got P ability, hand.activate ability. If I just press play, shouldn't do anything because I have no ability. Right. Oh, I need to game in pause menu, cursor sprite, pause cursor, ability. Here we go. Cool. Okay. Done. Let me just... Very cool. All right. Am I able to... Hang on. Am I able to build... How do I build this? Project. Tools. Export. Add. Oh. Windows desktop. Oh. Okay. Export path is going to be Godot. I'm going to go new folder, build files. Okay. And then I'm going to do new folder TDS. And then I'm going to save. Okay, I'm going to new folder Windows. And I'm going to save it as TDS. Okay. No export template found. Huh? Oh. What? The RC edit tool must be configured in the editor settings to change the icon or the app information data. Okay, that's fine. No export template found at the expected path. Export templates. Oh. Maybe because my user data is not actually at C. So if I go C users, me, app data, roaming, Godot, Godot, export templates, nothing. Oh, manage export templates. Ooh, okay. Download them or install from a file. Download and install. Ooh. Ooh, okay. This is gonna take a while. I'll just let that download and install in the background. I cannot. Alright, cool. I cannot. Damn it. I have to wait for it to be completed. A wise man would do this after the stream. I'm not a wise man. Ooh. Hello. Well, hello there. Hang on. Hello there, Cheese Man. Thanks for the follow. I am well. I am well today. I am well. At the moment, I'm waiting for a progress bar to be finished. How are you today? Thank you. I appreciate the recognition of my temperature. my current, and it is cold as well, so I'm chill in both ways. My hands are frozen. Excellent. That is good to hear that you're doing amazing. But yes, currently I am again waiting for it because I'm testing to see if I can actually build this thing that I'm working on, and if the build works in a different way, or at least is a little bit less problematic, laggy, I guess, than the Godot project version. Because there's a bit of lag in where when I load up the game that I'm not sure if it'll go in the build version. What did you make? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Let's just close that. And let's go ahead and see if I can export it. Okay, cool. All right. Export project. Ooh. Save. Ooh. That's wonderful to see, but I prefer doing programming the hard way. Could not start Red executable. No, thank you. I will not. I won't be trying it. I'm sorry. Primarily because I want to focus on developing in this Godot at this moment, and that's why I'm doing this at this current point in time. But I appreciate the offer. The answer is no. Let's have a look and see if this export actually worked. Build. TDS. Windows. Ooh. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. It just worked. Oh. What the hell's going on? What the hell? There's some funky shit going on here. Even my stomach isn't cool with it. Okay, so the lagging's sort of still cut. What the hell? Yeah, hang on. There's... Do you see that? You see that? I'm trying to go in diagonal and it goes straight for some reason. There it is. Look, I'm holding S and D. Okay, it may be something I did wrong. Is it because it's recognizing the joystick? No, it's not recognizing the joystick. Okay. So I don't know why that's doing it. Why is it doing that? That's so bad. That's so bad. Why is it doing that? Does it do that here? Yeah, it does. Why? Why doth thou doest that? Yeah. Oh my god, that's really bad. Why doth thou doest that? Huh? Why is that happening now? What? Why is that doing that now? This is something completely new. Why? Yeah, look, I'm holding down the right button, but he's not going. Why? I'm holding both left and right, which obviously you don't expect it to. But yeah, look, he just randomly decides not to continue moving right. Okay, there's some weird fucky things going on here. I don't think it's my keyboard. I hope it's not my keyboard. Why is there that weird thing happening? Could be that I have a controller plugged in and then it's doing some strange things. It could actually be because I have the controller plugged in. Hang on. I think it is because I had the controller plugged in. This is now operating correctly. Okay, so I'll need to figure out why that's doing the thing it's doing. Because it could be my controller is just a little bit iffy. And so it's probably registering the axes change, like a minor axes change, as making it not want to do the thing it wants to. So I may have to modify how I do controller inputs, which I'll definitely, yeah, I will definitely have to. So let me just get rid of that and close. So if I now export project and just save it and overwrite it. Yep, that's fine. Close. Very good. Okay, no more problems. Very good. And I don't know what music I'm going to be putting in here. Very cool. Okay, so it works. Game works. Game can be built, game can be run. Excellent. And I know how to export the project. Brilliant. This is good. Now, I need to know how to make this ability work. So, currently, the player... Now, is this dodge.dg? Yeah, GD. Yeah, dodge ability. Okay. The player... The way I handled dodging previously is... Ooh. Because I think charges would also be required. But I'm not sure if I should have that at the player hand or if I should have it in the actual dodge. Well, see, I can set it here as well. Which will then be referenced when the ability is spawned in. And here I'm going to say ability cooldown var ability charges. Okay. But then I'd want at the time the ability is equipped that the I want at the time the ability is equipped to for the player to understand how many charges the ability has. Because should the ability know? Or should the player know? Ooh, I think the player should know, not the ability. And these things should be defaults for the ability itself. Right. And upon initializing at the ready stage, me start playing my wobbly music. It really is a shame, because I think this Cheeseman guy was a scammer or some kind. And it's disappointing. So. Okay, let's have a look. So there you go. Audio Odyssey. Okay. Because the other thing is that I want to see if I can make my own everythings. Like I do want to, because the thing about music. Oh, I do like the Foley. I even get it just for the Foley. The thing about music, right, is that it's very heavily and easily tied to the feel of a game, right? By the way, thanks for finding that for me. I will buy that one, I reckon, because there's a lot of sound effects which I'm not really good at making myself. But, oh well, not exactly. Yeah, it really depends. It really depends. Cause yeah, the thing about the soundscape of a game is that it very easily heavily ties into the player's emotional connection to the game, right? And so. And the brain will automatically label this sort of soundscape as referencing that sort of game. And the problem with that is that games can feel very derivative of other games if they use the similar or same sound effects and similar soundscapes. People will know that that's a TF2 music. If you put TF2 music in your game, people will know that. And it would be very difficult for the player to divorce the idea of that specific music or soundscape with that game. You think a look at Gary's mod. Everyone knows it's a derivative of Half-Life and Source, and everyone knows the Source feeling because they have similar soundscapes and similar looks and feels to them, right? But And so that's why I want to try and make it as unique as possible in that sort of way, anything that I develop. And so using assets, especially sound assets, it's different. Yeah. Oh, it is a whole different realm of skills and knowledge, but my development ethos into getting into game development is that I would like to wear many hats, or at least know the production process behind the different hats in these sorts of environments. In that way, I can start telling who's legitimate, who's not, who's using derivative, all that sort of stuff. So there's a bit difference in that sort of thing. So now activate ability is going to have max ability cooldown, and then this will actually happen after this. So current cooldown. I should call it current ability cooldown. So current ability cooldown. Right? Current ability charges. Yeah. Oh yeah. Muse score is great for composing, but for composing and engraving. But when it comes to the process of just creating music, Muse score may not be the best. Oh, maybe. I don't know. But you're right. Yeah, it's the open source community is amazing, because what these corporations and companies forgot, and that's like corporations like Microsoft, Adobe, these corporations that own like a whole bunch of these tool suites, is that the programs that they have were developed by people who wanted to use those tools. And then again, the monetization models arrive by, you know, being able to support the development behind these tools. But the thing that these people forgot is that those tools were developed in an age where sharing those things in a mass environment was incredibly difficult. Now it's incredibly easy. And so now you have the people who want to use these tools developing these tools and releasing them on the internet for free, or mostly for free, and then the monetization platform behind that is second to it. So what companies like Microsoft and Adobe and developers behind, like, for example, MuseScore's biggest competitors, which are things like Sibelius and all that sort of stuff. Yes, I do watch Tentacruel on YouTube. He's a really funny Irish boy. In any case, what they forgot is that their tool development cycle is not required anymore. Their tool publishing cycle is not required anymore, because the internet is at a stage where someone can make something, upload it, and share it in a massive sort of format without the requirement of things like publishers and things like big development companies. And so that's the thing that these corporations like Adobe and Microsoft, who are really putting a stranglehold on artists and tool sets, have forgotten and don't realize, is that we have the ability to create the tools that we want to use. We always had, but now we have the ability to massively, to an extraordinarily wide audience, share it. And so that's where tools like MuseScore, tools like Godot, for instance, are starting to really take off, because people can create the tools that they want to use themselves. Things like, and if you look at James Lee on YouTube, James Lee, he made a big breaking up with Adobe animation, and a video breaking up with Adobe, and he goes through a whole list of all of these open source tools that are free and are as powerful, if not more flexible, than the big corporate tools that are available. And those big corporate tools, where they might be being studied in schools, and they may have made some deal with the schools that they'll teach them this specific tool set, but the way that they put a stranglehold on you after you're out of the educational environment, the tools now are being developed to mimic the functionality of those ones and even do their own things, and are able to be shared on such a wide market that it's really not required anymore. You don't need to learn the Adobe suite now to create great things. You can do your own thing, and you can support tools that have better production and development models than those big ones nowadays. And it's really good to see. And yes, MuseScore, if you want to compose and you want to engrave, and by that I mean, like, if you want to compose a piece of music that you can then print out your own music books for, sheet music, then that's what MuseScore is great for. And yeah, and you'll find that there's a whole bunch of these tools now being developed that are as powerful as the ones that you have to pay $400 fucking a month for. You know, you've got this one which is great, this one which you may have more experience in, but this one you have to pay $400 a month, and this one is free. So, yeah. No, less than 1. And now this is going to be a cheeky dig at you, but you said from my research, is that your research? Or did you submit a prompt to ChatGPT and that's what he told you? Hmm? No, I'm kidding. Anyway. Okay, I didn't know that part. Because you have in the music creation suite, you've got engraving and composition tools like things like Sibelius and MuseScore, which is what that started with, and then you have music creation tools where the engraving and composing side is where you create pieces of music for bands to play, bands and orchestras to play. So you create this piece of music to then be printed out in sheet music to have someone in front of them read and play. That's what MuseScore, Sibelius, that sort of suite is for. And then you have music creation softwares like FL Studio, for instance, where you just create the piece of music to be played in your headphones and shit like that. I didn't know MuseScore does both of those. If MuseScore is also like a FL Studio type of clone, or a FL Studio is the big one, but that sort of environment. Fucking Dance EJ. If you know what Dance EJ is, you're a certified legend. But programs like that where you put sounds, put it on a timeline, and have that timeline play those sounds. Because the thing about MuseScore and those sorts of things is that you can make plugins to have specific instruments play specific sounds, but it's designed specifically or primarily for being able to print out those sounds that you've set up to be read as a sheet music format. It's an engraving tool mostly, not necessarily... It's an engraving and composition tool, not necessarily a music creation tool. It's a little bit different. But then again, I haven't researched into what the capacities of MuseScore actually is, so we'll have to see in the future. But I'm not at the music creation side of things at this very point in time. That's going to be for later. Let's go ahead and scroll all the way down to later, and I'm going to put a little note here, and I'm going to say music. All right, cool. This is music. So, Now I gotta pee. Yeah. You're absolutely correct. Hang on. Let me come back about the Chat GPT thing. So you are absolutely correct. I believe that is an incredibly helpful and healthy way to use ChatGPT. Not as a replacement for research, but as an assistant in the terms of being able to do a surface scrape of a lot of the internet to know where you can start looking. I think that's probably the most helpful and most healthy way to use ChatGPT in the procedure of doing your own research in certain things. Because again, ChatGPT is a very surface level skimmer of a lot of things, and it can only display a subset of a lot of these things. So ChatGPT can't give you the answers, but it's very easy or very handy to introduce you in where you can start looking. And that's the mistake that a lot of people make when it comes to language learning models and ChatGPT and the like, is that it's really bad at giving exact, direct answers. And people believe it can do that, but it can't. Not accurately, at the very least. But it's really good at presenting either specific or direction towards where you should be looking, where you should be researching. Yes, very, very good. So now, who's calling me? Oh, my Opso. Okay, hang on a moment. This is a work call, guys. Just be 2 seconds. I'm just kidding. I know the microphone is muted. Anyway. So yeah, just roll change for tonight. I'm not doing the thing I was going to do, and now I'm going to do a different thing. It's okay. You're not good at reading lips. It's okay. I have fun sometimes. Hang on. How's my microphone levels? Yeah, they're good. Alright. So yeah. Because I know, like, it's a very common mistake for people people in streaming sort of things to make, and I'm like, hey, I can pretend. I can pretend. Anyway. So, dodge. I need to know how I handled dodge the last time. So I can see dodge control is a variable. And I need to know how dodge control is done. Because I need in process to process ability cooldown, and then process look I'm going to put with process. So process look is going to be there, and then I'm also going to do func process ability cooldown delta. So this one is going to say if charges, if current ability charges is less than max ability charges, or rather I'm going to do this opposite and say equals or greater than, then just return, don't worry about anything. If it's not, then if I'm going to go current ability cooldown, current ability cooldown, current ability cooldown plus, minus equals delta, and then I'm going to say if current ability cooldown less than or equal to 0, then current ability charges plus equals 1, and current ability cooldown equals max ability cooldown. Very good. So yeah, yeah, so the thing that I find amusing about the way we discuss our the thing that I find amusing about the way that we discuss AI and AI capabilities is we use terms like what you've used, lies, that the ChatGPT lies or ChatGPT hallucinates, but it doesn't. It doesn't do either of those things. That's a personification of the actual problem or the actual thing that it's doing. It doesn't lie. It doesn't hallucinate. It just guesses the words that it should say. And it does that all the time. It just guesses whatever word it should say. And whatever word is more likely to come next, it just print that one, and then it will do that over and over until it reaches an end string sort of guess. Until the guess is complete sentence, then it'll just keep doing that. And so we have identified that it making something up is an hallucination or it is a lie, but it doesn't, because lying requires you to know what the truth is and saying something that is different to what the truth is. But it requires the act of knowing the truth. And AI, language learning models, ChatGPT, doesn't know the truth. It doesn't know the truth. It doesn't have a concept of knowing what the truth is. And so it's impossible for it to lie. Anything that ChatGPT tells you is its best guess. What you have to do is filter out and try to direct it towards its best guess being the best path that you need to take in order to do the things that you need it to do. And so I was using ChatGPT to help me with finding out what an ATS compliant CV looks like, or a cover letter looks like. And using it more and more to generate these cover letters, I'm like, okay, so now I know that the way that I need to structure the cover letters is to basically just... Here's how you do any job application. You grab the role requirements, you grab the dot points of the role requirements, and then you write a sentence about each role requirement. That's it. That is all you have to do. That's it. And you just write the sentence based on your own experience. That's all you need to do. Because that's what ChatGPT was doing. That's what it was doing. But again, it doesn't know you as well as you know yourself. It's impossible to. And, yeah, but it knows how to make a best guess to fit the criteria that you've given it. And, well, yeah, its best guess happens to be something that is follows a procedure and a constant procedure. You learn that procedure, and then you do your own thing from it. We'll stop. Anyway, so yeah, that's how I learned how to fucking do job applications. You just write a short sentence based on all the role requirements, and you don't even need to have the exact experiences that it's looking for. You just need to bullshit your way into knowing what it is that they want, and that's it. That's it, really. That's it. Anyway. No. Current ability cooldown gets done here. So, I might actually make So therefore, anytime the ability is changed, it will be able to update the abilities, cool down the charges and the like. Very good. Okay, so how do I might reset this entirely and not even have dodge control be a factor. So I'm going to wait after I finish developing this one. I'm going to basically yeah, see that? All of that. Yeah. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say units per second. Dodge distance. So I am now going to treat this ability as its own thing. I'm going to lock the player to every process. I'm going to get player dot global position equals global position. I'm going to do at the beginning, I'm going to to go move direction dot normalized multiplied by dodge speed, right? Multiplied by delta, right? And then I'm going to do, so dodge distance sets as that. I'm going to get this, save it as a variable, move equals this, plus equals move. And then I'm going to say dodge distance minus equals move dot length. Right? And then I'm going to say if dodge distance less than or equal to 0, finish dodge. And in finish dodge, I'm just going to queue free. Done. So the other thing is that I also may need to have a list of active abilities. So I need the hand to know how many of the ability is active. So var active abilities, and I'm going to make that an array. And when an ability is activated, at here, I'm going to go active abilities plus equals ability. Right. And then in ability.gd, finish ability should request player.activeAbilities. I'm going to say if self in player.activeAbilities, player.activeAbilities.remove self. So finish ability and I reckon I'll just have this super dot finish ability, and finish ability should come here and should come here, and in fact finish ability Q3 should just happen here. So dodge ability doesn't need to actually activate that. Now I can foresee a problem. I can find a pause now, man. Have a look. Good turds. Hearing being damaged, amazing. Excellent. This is a Gen 1 Applejack, isn't it? Amazing. Amazing. So oh, where's my phone, by the way? Fuck me. Oh, it's over here. Roulette. Roulette. The headphones, mate. You put the AI put the headset fucking not even on the ears. What have you done? That's not how, okay. She's got a second set of ears. There's aesthetic ears and then the actual ears. What have you done? Amazing. Fuck it, let's give it a shot. Let's give this a shot, mate. So if I go to player hand, I'm gonna have equipped ability. Oh, not here. Equipped ability being prefabs, weapons, abilities, dodge. Boom, right there. Let's just give it a shot, see if it works. Wait, all right. because it's not actually in player, it's in player hand. So I'll need to also, in ability, do var. I guess hand is fine because only one thing can ever have hand. And so player needs hand, player.hand. So like this, in ability.gd, hand is a node2d, and get return player.hand. Done. And this one is and.active abilities. Let's try that again. So yeah, not remove, it's erase. Let's try that again. So you can see it working, which is really cool. But I want it to be slightly different. So I'm actually going to increase this to 1200, and I'm going to decrease this to 200. Let's give that a shot. And again, this stuttering is all because I'm doing all of these instance and destroy calls. See that? Whoopsie daisy. Whoopsie daisy. So I'm going to have to make sure that he's not going to end up in a wall. I do want to have a teleport. I do want to have a teleport ability, which does this, where you can end up in a wall or you can end up in a in the void. And then I would love to have like a by the way, the charges and the cooldown works. I would like to have sort of secret rooms somewhere that that can only be accessed by jumping out of the field like this. And of course, the player's going to need a couple of abilities and a couple of changes in order to make sure he doesn't die when he comes out in this environment. So that's going to be a thing. I very much would like that thing. But that means that dodge is going to be needing to be something that's different, because I need to make sure that it's still inside the environment. Might actually make a physics body object, static body, character body. Would do that. But again, oh, actually, it could be so easy. Hang on, one sec. So if I add this as a collision shape, right? Add a collision shape, make a circle shape, and make it have radius of 10 pixels is fine, right? What I can actually do is at ready, let me just equal, I'm gonna have var rb equals rigid body. Rename this to so I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm gonna say on ready RB equals dodge body, right? And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say RB dot velocity, linear velocity, equals move direction multiplied, move direction dot normalized multiplied by dodge speed, right? That's going to be the linear velocity. And then here, dodge distance, I'm actually going to do going to be player.global position equals rb.global position. And then I'm fairly certain linear velocity is basically the same as doing something like this. And because that's the same, I'm going to just do that, basically. Dodge distance minus equals move dot length. Instead of dodge speed, and instead of move direction, oh yes, I'm going to do linear velocity dot length. Linear velocity multiplied by delta. Okay. And it's going to be the length of that. So, let me see if that just works. If it works, I'm going to be amazing. If it works, it's going to be amazing. It does, kinda. Yes. Now, I'm going to grab the charge ability, merely charging attack here, and where it collides with the world. No. I'm gonna make the player stop dodging if it hits a wall. So this node is gonna have body entered. Yes, I'm gonna connect this to dodge on body entered. On dodge collision. On dodge collision. Right? And it's going to be if body. Now, how did I ask melee charging attacked? If body dot is in group level. If body dot is in group level, then I'm going to finish ability. Done. doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't work. Hang on. Oh, wait, hang on. Is contact monitor set to true? Hang on. Oh, there we go. Done. What? Oh. What? What? Hang on. Hang on. Something's not right here. Hang on. 1 second. So, emits signals when it collides with another body. Odd. Okay. There we go. Very good. So, the other thing is that when the player is dodging, I want the player's collision to be... I want the player to be invulnerable. And the way I can do that... I come all the way down here. Now all of this I'm going to go. I'm going to delete. Yeah, all of this I'm going to delete. I'm cleaning up this code. I'm cleaning this code. I don't need any more dodge controlling handling happening at the player's side. All of that is happening as an ability. Dodge count. Yeah, max health. So that's important. That's certainly important. But I might do that in a different way than what I have done it as. So all of that dodge stuff is gone. This includes that as well. Okay. So where does... So here's hurt. Okay. But if dead, do nothing. I'm going to say if invincible... What? Invincible. Invincible. There we go. Fuck me. Alright. So that means I'm going to have here bar invincible false. So dodge upon creation will go player.invincible equals true, and at the end it's going to be player.dodge invincible equals false. Oh no, hang on, not on dodge collision. It's going to be finish ability. Invincible syphil is false. Very good. Now I don't want it to collide with the player. This dodge layer, the tile map, what layers does it have? I'm going to put it on 5. I'm going to put this dodge layer on 5. Or actually, I can make it not have a layer and just have a mask. So it itself can't collide with anything, but it will check for collisions on layer 5, which the tile map is. And so now, what I'll do, I can dodge. See that? It attacked me, but I didn't get damaged. Bibiab. You've said that twice now, so I don't think it's a mistake. You have to explain to me this Bibiab. Because it's not BRB. Beeberry bike back. I don't know. Yeah. All of this is confusing to me. Okay. I can also have a dampening. If I make it dampening too, that means it'll punt in that direction and then slow down as I'm dodging. And then what I want to do is at the end of the dodge, I want the player... where does it... Why am I having move and slide happen up here? Move and slide should happen down here. Moreover, move and slide should be happening in physics process, not process. I'm weird. Also, RB is just set to self because I had previously had RB, rigid body, as a different thing. So now it's not that, which is good. But in any case, this means that I can make the players on dodge collision. I can set linear velocity RB.linear velocity equals 0. Vector 2.0. And then at finishability, player invincible equals false, but player.linear velocity equals rb.linear velocity. Also, player in ability, player is a character body, so it knows it's a character body. And actually, it's not linear velocity, it's just velocity. Correct? Yeah, it's just velocity. So that means... Very good. Well, actually, I don't actually need to set the velocity to 0. He sort of skates. Interesting. Hang on. Okay, okay. I can get behind that. Or does he... Yeah, he skates in both directions. Yeah, he does actually skate. Okay, I like that. I do like that. It is a lot smoother than before, for sure. Because I am setting the character body's velocity at the end of the dodge cycle. So the character body's velocity is going to be the same as... see that? The dodge at the end of the dodge cycle, basically. But this dodge ability also allows the player to sort of skate, which means like the player can continue the speed after the dodge if they're moving in the same direction as the dodge. If they're moving in another direction, then they're going to be slowing down and stuff. So that's going to be something that I'd love for the player to be able to use, because that brings text into the field. So yeah. And the better you make your movements, the better it is. So yeah, that's abilities done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this one now. I'm going to add child node. I'm going to call it GPU particles. Yep. And I'm going to have a process material, new particle process material, and it's going to be, if I come over here, emission shape is going to be a sphere. Yeah, sphere. Sphere radius of 10. Cool. I'm going to have gravity equals 0. So it's just going to appear and not move. The direction, I'm going to have the spread as down to 20. I'm going to have initial velocity. Yeah. The initial velocity is going to be somewhere between 100 and 200, like this. The amount is going to go up to, say, 64. Maybe even more. 128. Maybe even more. 256. Yeah. Now, maybe negative 200. Or maybe 0. And then its lifetime down here, time, lifetime is 0 point, something like 0.3. Okay, I'm gonna have to reduce that again. That looks good. Maybe 0.2. That's good. I'm gonna have a dampening associated with it. Dampening min to be 1, max to be maybe 5. Very good. Color, I'm going to ramp it down to 0. From, I'm just gonna invert that. So from 1 down to white, but 0, just like that. Cool. And then upon creation, game has colors in it, alignment colors. And then it's going to be get alignment color. It's going to be player.alignment. So at beginning, I'm going to go modulate equals gm dot get alignment color player.alignment. There we go. And I want it to be world space as well. Nah. How do I make it world space? Oh, okay. Very good. And I'm gonna have some randomness in scale. 0.75 to 2. Maybe 1.75. And I do want to have a scale curve, which I kind of want to make it go, yeah, something like this. And then like this. Just like that. Okay. Okay. And it's going to be inside dodge body. So this is dodge particles, right? Dodge particles. And then dodge will have an on ready particles. And then on finish abilities, part dot stop. Very good. Part dot emitting equals false. Very good. Now I can attach the let's have a look at scripts, utilities. GPU particles, not folder, create new script, cancel here, attach script, new script. It's going to be scripts, utilities, GPU particles, and I'm going to create a new delete after complete script, which is specifically a GPU's particles script. And create. It's going to be var delete and I'm going to say func stop No, there's a way you can check. I'm fairly certain GPU particles has a function saying that there are currently maybe. Well, you've got lifetime here. So what I might actually do is I'll have var delete delay and then here I'll say if delete and then delete delay equals delete delay equals lifetime multiplied by 1.2, just as a little bit of a buffer zone. And then yeah, that means stop. So if not emitting and delete, no, that's the wrong one, and delete, export this one. I don't even need that one. I don't even need that, really. I'll do delete delay at on ready. I don't even need to do that, really. So what I'll then do is part dot reparent to gm.non-essential, and then emitting equals false. And then that's it. Oh, because there we go. Solved. Stupid. Dodge particles could be a little bit better. I'm going to make this 256. I'm going to make the lifetime to be maybe 0.3, so it's got a little bit more of a thing. I'm going to increase the size of the particles, so maybe 1 to 2. Turbulence? Nah. Let's give it a look. Oh, right. I'm not directing it correctly. So hang on. Oh, okay. I need to, upon starting, rotate to the direction, the move direction. So rotation equals move direction dot angle. Should be. It's always a good feeling when you get your stubborn bit of code figured out. Oh, well, I'm getting paid double anyway. I just realized that my change in shift tonight is a job that's a little bit more stringent than what I was expecting. But it's money. It's money. What? Hang on. What? Why? Oh, hang on. Oh, oh boy. It's colliding with the magazine element. I'm a dingus. So this tile map. Oh, it is also on layer 10. So I might actually make this dodge to be on layer 10 instead of layer 5. That's a different amazing feeling. That's kind of like, I'm God, but I don't know why. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, okay. I need to make the collision body to be a little bit smaller. Maybe 6. It's just going to be as it is. Yeah, it's just going to be as it is. Look, I don't care. That's done. This is done. Abilities is done. The next ability that I want to program, just right quick. It's going to be too long. It's going to be too long for today. Let's go ahead and reshuffle my to-do list. So, I need to do... And now I want to create new abilities. The new abilities. I want to create a bomb. Do not take that out of context. I want to create a mine. A thrown or a placed one, which could be both. A mine, which triggers when enemies get close. I want to do a invulnerability shield, maybe? And then I want to create a little spawnable turret. Oh, I want to do homing missiles. So I want to do missiles, those sorts of abilities. The next task, I want to do new weapons. Which should be pretty straightforward. I want to have a laser weapon. I want to have a lightning weapon. I want to have a machine gun. I want to have a melee question mark. Big question mark if I want to add melee to the game. Probably not. And melee is not spelt with a second L. Very big question mark on that one. I definitely want to have a sniper as well. Yeah. And now I also need new enemies, but that's going to be a later, bigger task. Spawning effects is going to be a later thing, maybe. But yes, new weapons, laser, lightning, machine gun, melee, sniper, new enemies. I'd like to have a broodmaster sort of enemy. I'd also love to have... a asteroids type of enemy. Sort of that when it dies, it splits into two smaller ones. That sort of thing. And then I need to do the shop. Big important. Once weapons are done, I need to do the shop. And then fix the parallax background. Cool. My parallax background fixes this. It's going to be a layer of sprites. That's another TDS acronym that I thought of. Tickling deadly snakes. Total dumb shit. That's all going to be later. Right now, I'm exhausted. I need to stop streaming. So, I don't know when my next stream is going to be. I really don't, which is very unfortunate. But, yeah, at this current point in time, I'm going to have to say goodnight. And I'm going to have to, that's it. Thank you. So thanks so much for coming in, joining me for today. And I hope to see you next time. Don't know when that next time's going to be. But, yeah, I'm very tired right now. And so I need to, I've got a 12-hour shift, so I need to relax, decompress, just have fun with my Monday. No. And yeah, don't know when the next stream's going to be, but it should be, I would like to do one more, maybe next week, but we're just going to have to see. It's just going to have to be a big, gonna have to see. All right. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.